Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Somos Mas, the official podcast of Somos Mas NM, and your source for the latest news and notes on New Mexico United and the New Mexico Runners. My name, of course, is Seth Bedoff. Joining me tonight, we have Jacob Terrell, Earl Nieto, and it is a very happy Cup Tuesday. Hopefully, you all have had a fantastic weekend and you're enjoying some Open Cup soccer tonight. Guys, before we get into our show, I do have one burning question for you. What's the result tomorrow night?
Really? You're just gonna?
Yes, I'm gonna throw that one out there to start with. I'm gonna put you guys on the spot.
Throw tomorrow's prediction at us right away.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man, I don't know.
You have to back it up later with your research.
Here's my research. Phoenix is not our number one rival because we still can't beat them, and so because of that.
Sorry, Jacob. You were saying I think you muted yourself there.
You mute me for that, but yet you make me mute Earl all the time for his nonsense.
Sure, why not?
All right. I predict a penalty shootout, and from there, I don't know.
All right, we'll figure the rest out here in a little bit. Earl, give us your way too early prediction on tomorrow night.
I have no idea where you guys just went. I plugged in my HDMI and I don't know where you guys are at. So at this point, I don't know.
It's funny. It's funny because you're looking up, and on my screen, you're the bottom of the triangle. So you're looking up to me and Seth on my screen, like a Brady Bunch situation where they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And it's just funny to me. Can you hear me?
No, like legit, like I plugged in my HDMI because I was gonna kind of josh with Seth over there about Freddie Freeman.
Who
cares?
So you like we're not on your screen, but we're not on the TV screen either. Is that what's going on? Like you don't know what screen we're on?
I'm sending you a picture now.
All right, Earl, this is a professional. Earl, we are a professional outfit here.
No, we're not. No,
we're trying to have things set up before time.
No, you are a professional outfit. We are just along for the ride sometimes.
Oh, all right.
So, well, here's my laptop. And
while Earl is sending us pictures, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the chat, please hop on over into in there. Throw your questions and comments in the chat. We will get to those throughout the night. We do have a lot to get to. We've got Open Cup talk. We've got Saturday night at Phoenix. We got Saturday night against San Antonio. We've got a lot to get to. We've got cup matches, some cup sets going on tonight. So a lot to talk about. Earl, did you send your picture yet?
Yeah, look, I live in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Okay. So we'll get
no,
you don't.
No, you don't.
One of the pictures sent, the other picture is not sending. But I think I figured it out, and I can see Seth right here.
Okay.
Jacob right here. Jacob's forehead, if my screen didn't get cut off, right about here.
Close.
All right, so Earl, let's get back to our way too early prediction for tomorrow night. We will of course talk about this here in just a little bit.
I want to say 1-0 United.
All right, there you have it. Early predictions here. Hey, Sombrero man over in the chat. Alex Touche with the late equalizer for Union Omaha, and Omaha does advance over Chicago Fire after penalties. So great night for Alex Touche over there. Yeah, I mean, we've still got Open Cup matches going on. Jacob, you and I are both kind of trying to watch a little bit here and there tonight. In other results, we did see South Georgia Tormenta.
Where did Earl go?
I don't know. But
I look down, I look up, and he's gone.
Yeah, okay. He'll be back. So DC United beat Flower City Union by a final of 3-0. Inter Miami beat Miami FC by a final of 1-0. Cincinnati.
The Miami FC. Thank you.
Yeah, whoever. Cincinnati scored 2 goals in extra time to beat Pittsburgh 2-0. Detroit City upsets Columbus Crew by final 2-1. Union Omaha, of course, as we just mentioned, on the back of a Alex Touche equalizer in the 122nd minute, goes to penalties and beats Chicago Fire. South Georgia Tormenta beats Birmingham Legion by a final of 2-0. Birmingham Legion shat the bed in that one. FC Dallas holds off FC Tulsa by a final of 2-1. Houston Dynamo held off RGV 2-1. San Jose is currently up on Bay Cities by a score of 1-0. LA Galaxy carries a 1-0 lead over San Diego Loyal. And then FC Tucson leads Cal United Strikers 1-0 currently. So big day in the Open Cup. What do you guys think so far? Third round.
Wait, what'd you ask? Just kidding. What do I think about the third round so far?
I don't think Earl knew what was going on until about 10 minutes ago. So this answer ought to be good.
So I actually have a live feed about what I feel about going on tonight.
Okay.
No. Wait. No. Wait.
You just trying to play catch up, Earl? Is that all you're trying to do? Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's been a lot. I mean, the action started early for us. It started like 5:00.
Yeah, I was busy dealing with family stuff at that time. Actually, 5:00, I was still working.
Yeah, I was too. So I got to the opening matches tonight.
There's this cool thing called a rapid hire that the state decides to do till midnight. It's stupid times of the night. And I had to work it.
So are you technically still working?
Do I ever stop working? That's the question.
Fair point.
That was deep.
So legit, my eye is like twitching. I think I'm having a stroke.
Mini stroke.
Sorry, this is like just top shelf today.
Yeah, we're on fire right now.
Obviously.
My thoughts. Like some cup sets. It's kind of like the NCAA tourney, but with soccer. You might get a few upsets here and there, but for the most part, the higher teams are going to advance, and that's kind of what we've seen. I mean, we saw Omaha, which was fantastic. Detroit City, kind of not quite New Mexico status yet, but first year in the USL, and they're kind of making a little run, beating the MLS side. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a fun tournament as always, and so far the first night has been interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I honestly feel like USL Twitter is not going to shut up about Detroit City for quite a while now. But, I got to say, I watched that match and I was impressed with the turnout up there. Like, I knew they drew well, but to see that size of a crowd on a Tuesday night, I think is absolutely fantastic. It looks like they have a great stadium up there, and I can't wait to see United play them.
Yeah, that'll be, when is that? I don't have a big calendar schedule for this year, and it's driving me nuts. I have a little one around here somewhere, actually, but I need to have something handy so I can look and be like, oh, we play Detroit City on this date.
Yeah.
Wait, there's soccer going on?
Yeah. That's what we had to do a show about, Earl. You do know that, right?
Oh yeah.
Saturday, July 23rd, away day at Detroit City. So there you go. That's gonna be a lot of fun to see what happens.
Road
up there.
trip.
I felt like Pittsburgh. I thought we were going to El Paso road trip, and you guys couldn't go. So
no. That's not how that went down. How that went down was the week before. You were like, "Hey guys, I'm going to El Paso," and we were like,
"It was more like
no." I said something I said something before.
It was more like 9:00 the night before. Hey, by the way, I'm going to El Paso, and we're like, "Oh, that's good for you because guess what? We're married and we can't just like hop up and go."
I feel like we talked about it before the season even started. And then, like, you guys had stuff.
I feel like you
up.
mentioned it.
Maybe when the schedule came out, we were like, oh, that'd be a fun one to go to. But then nothing got planned until Seth goes, yeah, I'm going to El Paso.
Okay.
And that
Yeah,
leaves
he's
us
like,
to be
hey, I'm on the road to El
okay,
Paso. You guys want to go?
cool.
Sure.
Score update out in San Jose. San Jose now leads by Bay City by a score of 2-0. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to switch that one over to the FC Tucson game, so I can keep an eye on that one. But yeah, Open Cup is well underway. We've got third round action tomorrow in New Mexico United against Phoenix Rising. Guys, this is a rematch for 2019 Open Cup, and we'll get into Saturday's match. But actually, you know what? Let's talk Saturday first, because I think it'll kind of lead into this a little bit better. We can talk about some changes and things that we might see tomorrow night. So Saturday night, New Mexico United, they are, of course, out in Phoenix. 2 matches in 4 days between the two clubs, and United fell by a final of 1-0 Saturday night. And we saw the return of Cody Mizell, who got the nod between the sticks. And Earl, I know you had, pretty sure it was you that had some discussions with Casey Gasson over on Facebook, talking about the inclusion of Cody Mizell in the starting 11. But I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, I feel like that was a well played match. I feel like United had the upper hand for much of the match, but they just couldn't quite find that goal. What do you guys think went wrong on Saturday?
Go ahead, Earl. I might be a minute.
Well, I might be a minute too.
That's fine.
So as you guys got the text on Saturday, there was a few things that and don't get me wrong, I don't know much about soccer. I'm not really a soccer head, I barely started watching soccer. What are we in year 4? So about 3.5 years ago. So I don't know much about soccer, but I do know when you're down 1-0 with 5 minutes left, you kind of want to push the ball into the attacking half, not the defensive half or your goalkeeper. That's just one start for me. Kind of being more hungry towards the end of the game, even when you're losing or winning, either one. And I'll probably get some shit for this one. Sorry, Sombrero Man, for my language. It's gonna be a long night. So from week 1, when me and Jacob were standing at the south goal or north goal, what is that? North? Never eat soggy worms.
Okay, are you by the curse or by the scoreboard?
Scoreboard. North end.
North. Oh man.
Yeah,
I give up. I fucking give up. So anyways, like I was saying, so from week 1, when me and Jacob were standing on the other end of the field away from the curse, in the 90th minute, watching the team still pressing and still attacking, to now, which is what week we in? Week 5?
This is technically week 7.
Okay, well, I've lost 2 weeks somewhere.
We've only played 5 matches, but yeah, it's technically match week 7.
Okay, well, whatever fucking week we're in, 7, 5, either way. To the last game, the last match that we just played, to where we're literally going back to what we did last season, passing the ball back, not attacking, substituting attacking-minded individuals for Michael Azera, who is that much. Hang on, let me get up to Jacob's forehead. About that much better than JPG. He's only that much better because he has a lot of experience.
Can I stop you yet, Earl?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. 1.
Sorry, I was rambling.
It's okay. I just, there's several things wrong with your argument. Several things right. Several things that I agree with. But I'm okay with the Azera change. I think that the way the midfield was in the first half, we needed somebody in there to calm things down and to be a presence in the midfield instead of either way up or way back. And I think Azira did a good job of that. 2, I'm going to throw numbers and letters at you, Earl. So eyes on me, up here. Earl, focus, Earl. That match was our highest expected goals of the season with 2.71. Coming off of our second highest, 2.54, I believe, against Oakland. The attack is there, and it is better than last year by a mile so far. The goals maybe haven't come quite yet, but the attack is better, and it isn't like last year. The back passes, and sideways passes that you were talking about with 5 minutes left. I was yelling at the TV. I understand that there's a reason for that, and they're trying to find a hole to attack. And when they finally did pass it forward, there were holes that opened up because of that passing back and forth and back passing and all that stuff. And it led to a couple good opportunities. My problem is that we still can't finish. And part of that Saturday night was because we ran into a hot keeper, which happens from time to time. And he was good. I don't think he was as amazing as the Phoenix fans are saying. I think he made 2 really good saves and then saved a weak penalty and had a handful of softer saves. But that's a Tambakis night most nights. I mean, he makes a couple good saves a game. And that's just kind of the way it goes. The problem that I had, aside from not being able to find the back of the net and in the run of play, I don't know what's going on with Weehan. Am I the only one that sees it? Like, is he struggling to you guys? Is it just me? Like, his passes have been off. His first touches have been heavy. That PK was, I don't know what that PK was. I'm not 100% sure why he's taking PKs. They had a stat where he was now 2 of 5, I believe, in PKs in the USL, which seems wrong to me to an extent. But I also know that I've never really been impressed with him taking PKs for us. He had the one absolute banger. I'm pretty sure it was against Colorado's. No, who was it against? It was an Open Cup game from 2019 where it was a beautiful penalty right in the upper 90, slotted it home. And it's the one that sent us on to the next round. So I think it was Colorado. But I thought Schmidt took that one. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He had one penalty that I thought was a really good penalty that impressed me. And ever since then, every time he steps up to the PK spot, I'm just like, oh, man. Even Saturday, I did not have a good feeling.
What are we talking about?
I didn't want to watch. And lo and behold, it was a bad PK, and Lunt saved it. And I don't know what's going on with Weehan. And we've talked about it a few times earlier, but now I'm kind of starting to get worried because it's been 5 matches with him and Nico and Ataka for part of 5 matches anyways. And he just doesn't seem to be clicking. And I don't even think it's him clicking with the other players. It's him clicking with himself. Like his touches just aren't right. And I don't know what's wrong. And I'm starting to get worried.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about him a whole lot in recent weeks. And, we early on, we felt like he needed time to click and find time to gel. And you could see time, and we talked about it, especially there at the end of the preseason, like he just looked off. Like you said, it just wasn't clicking yet. And I've talked about wanting to see him get involved more. Maybe, him dropping a little bit deeper, getting on the ball a little bit more, pushing the ball up, like we've seen Sergio Rivas do a little bit, like we've seen some other guys do. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't. And it's not that I don't have confidence in Bees and his ability to make plays and to convert that PK, but for whatever reason, he just did not put a good touch on that ball. He is basically right down the middle and didn't force Lunt to try to do anything. And I will give credit to Lunt. Lunt stood on his freaking head Saturday night and played a great night. Kept United out of the goal. I think he was credited with 5 official saves, and I don't think that includes the PK. But he played really well. He really did. And considering how leaky that back line of Phoenix's was, I feel like Lunt is the reason they did not lose that match, more so than anything else. And so, I look at that and I'm just going, man, I don't know. I don't know what more that we could have done Saturday night. I mean, obviously, if Bees makes that PK, we're having a slightly different conversation, not a completely different conversation, but a slightly different conversation.
No, it's a drastically different conversation if he makes that PK. As long
I
as
don't
we hold
think
on.
so because you still have that. It's go ahead.
If we walk out of there with a draw on a night when Lunt is standing on his head, then we're coming out of that. I'm coming out of that ecstatic.
Mm-hmm.
If either Wehan takes a better penalty or if Nico takes it and slots it home, then we're in a completely different mood right now. I'm actually in a pretty good mood about it anyways. I think it was just kind of a fluky game in the sense that we couldn't find the back of the net with several really good chances. And I feel like we were the better team. It's 5 games in, I know, but I feel like I had this same conversation last year where I said we were the better team several times and we weren't coming away with results. And so far, I feel like we've been the better team in all 5 of our games and we're 2-2-1. And that doesn't sit well with me right now.
And I get that. And to your point, if we come out of the match Saturday night with that point on the road, we talked about how important that point on the road was. Mm-hmm. If we come out of it, I think we're having a different conversation about the result itself. But in terms of the actual performance of Bees, I think we're still critical of that. I think we're still critical of missed opportunities, but we're still we are excited. We're excited about the result because you go into Phoenix, a place that is known to be a tough place to play. We've never won there.
We've never beat Phoenix, period. So,
well, yeah, I think it's 2 completely different conversations you're having in one.
You know what else is tough to get in Phoenix, especially at the stadium?
Beer.
Anything?
Beer.
And to the point about Mike Azira coming on, I felt like Azira coming on was a really good change. Sergio really hadn't done a whole lot. Now I don't know if maybe he picked up a knock. We haven't heard anything. But you could see there in the first half we were struggling a little bit in our transition back into defense, and so putting Mike Azira in there to play the bottom of that 4-4-2 diamond gives that ability to go back and defend and then turn and transition back up. We were talking about how it still kind of felt like there were some issues with that transition. Who's making that connection going forward. So maybe we see a change from the 4-4-2 diamond, but I feel like as a whole that formation worked well against Phoenix and didn't really allow them too many opportunities to get clear chances like we've seen happen in past matchups with them.
I didn't see a 4-4-2. I thought we clearly had 3 at the back. And honestly, we almost always had one at the back that second half. I mean, Seymour was basically back there by himself, and Hamilton and Yearwood were bombing up with everybody else when we were in attack mode. But the point that you made still stands. It was a good sub. I was perfectly okay with it. I thought he did a very good job at just occupying that midfield space as a defensive player and occupying space on offense where somebody for Phoenix had to step to him, and that kind of opened up some lanes behind him for some not over the top balls, but some through balls through one or two levels of the Phoenix defense. And I was really happy with it. I really did like it. And overall, the performance I'm really happy with. I just don't like that we tend to be the better team and still not get results. And I don't know how to fix that. Because if you look at the XG is not everything. It's not the be all end all of stats. But the game flow, is it game flow that I retweet all the time?
Yeah.
The game flow chart, the overall XG number, I don't really care to look at, but the chart that they post with it can tell a pretty good story of the match. And we had, so it's basically, for those that don't know, it's a straight line with Phoenix's scoring chances graphed on the top and ours on the bottom. And the longer the graph, the longer the bar on your side or their side, that's the better chance of scoring that you had at that particular moment. And you look at our chart, and ours are like 7 or 8 over, I think it's 0.1. I don't know what it is exactly, but a bunch of chances that were pretty good. And Phoenix had like 3. And we had maybe 9, I think it was. Yeah. And so you can look at those charts and you can be like, okay, we had a shit ton of chances. And probably were very unlucky not to finish several of them, including the penalty. And I still have faith in Nico and Weehan that their finishing will come back around. I mean, we know what Weehan can do. We've seen him for 2.5 years. He's the leading scorer for New Mexico United. And he has the talent and the potential to break out of this slump in a big way. But, man, was that game frustrating in a sense of we at least should have come away with 1 point. And I understand the whole, okay, this guy's slumping. Let's give him an easy chance with the penalty to see if he can get out of that slump. But the flip side of that is if you're in a slump and you get the penalty opportunity and then you miss the penalty opportunity, that's not a good way to get out of a slump. That's a pretty good way to go lower into a slump. And I hope that that's not what happens to Weehan and that he can bounce back even if it's Wednesday, tomorrow.
Yeah, you definitely want to see some sort of rebound from that. Earl, speaking of Nico Brett, early in that match Saturday night, Nico had a golden opportunity. Got in behind, had a chance to make the keeper miss, and just put it right into his arms. What do you think, looking at that opportunity that Nico had there, what do you think he could have done differently in order to give himself a better opportunity on goal there? And then what do you think the momentum is at that point, if he scores that goal?
Just to clarify, is this when he has defenders in front of him too?
Yeah, he makes that cut. And
he makes a cut back to the right.
Back to the right, Lunt goes to ground, and
okay.
Nico just puts it right into Lunt. Yeah.
Okay.
So what do I think he should have did different?
Yeah, what could he have done differently there to give himself a better look or a better opportunity to put that ball in?
Instead of kicking it towards the keeper, I mean, chip it over the keeper. I mean, yeah. Where's my stupid question?
Well, no, I mean, so when you're in that situation, like you're coming down on goal, you don't really have a defender necessarily like in front of you. Like, for whatever reason, instead of taking it first time, he decided to make a move back to his right, giving the number one, the keeper an opportunity to come out and go to ground. And then you get the left back of Phoenix coming back in as well.
So I think what happened there, Brett panicked. I mean, obviously Phoenix, I'll give it to them. They're a good team. They're a really good team. So obviously when your keeper goes down to stop the ball, you're 9 times out of 10 expecting some kind of defensive lineman to come back at you. So I'm thinking maybe he thought, oh, well, Lunt just went down. Where are these 4 other line or defensive men that they have coming at me? I'm just going to get rid of it. So I'm thinking that's probably what he thought. I think if he would have waited a second longer and maybe chipped it over Lunt, we're 1-1 at that time. What kind of momentum change does that make it? I mean, you're tied with one of the best teams in the league.
That would have given us the lead.
No, that would have been like a lead in like
that
the
would have
7th or
been
8th minute.
That would have been the lead. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, now you're beating one of the best teams in the league. Yeah, that's a huge momentum swing. I mean, it puts everything back on your side. But I mean, it's Phoenix, so I don't take anything for granted with Phoenix. I mean, we could be up 4-0 on Phoenix and somehow find a way to blow it. I mean, we could probably be up 28-3 on Phoenix and still forget it.
Oh, damn. In rewatching it, and no, it's not too soon. It's like 6 years ago.
Yeah, in fact, it's not even relevant anymore. So, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know what is relevant, though. Freddie Freeman hitting a home run on his first at-bat.
World Series champions.
Living in the past. Living in the past. In rewatching it, I don't know what else he could have done. There are actually, at the time he takes the shot, there are 4 defenders between him and goal. There is somebody on the back line, like on the goal line. There is a player right behind Lunt, then Lunt's on the ground, and then the player that he jukes to get around him. If anything, I look at Ataka and think he could have made a better play there. He's actually the one that makes the run and then passes it to Nico right at the top of the 18. I think in a perfect world, Nico takes that first touch. I don't think the pass had enough mustard on it to get it where he wanted it for his first touch. And then a defender came streaking in. So he had to do something else. I think maybe if Ataka takes that more towards the goal, a few more dribbles, and then finds a way to cut it back, Nico's a little bit closer. Lunt has to shift more over to Ataka's side, leaving Brett with basically an open half a net there. But it was still a good play. It was still a good attacking play. If you watch the highlight package that USL put together, it's like New Mexico, New Mexico, New Mexico, Phoenix, New Mexico, Phoenix, New Mexico, New Mexico, New Mexico, New Mexico, New Mexico, New Mexico. It's not even really close as far as chances there. And you can watch every single one of them and nitpick that they probably could have done this or they could have done that. At the end of the day, I don't watch it and say, oh, that was a huge mistake. The only mistake that I personally saw was Weehan taking the penalty. I didn't like that decision from the get-go. I get it. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not on the field with these guys. They have their system. They have their reasons. I get it. Nico is our top scorer. Nico, if we're going to have a good season, Nico needs to be our top scorer. Nico needs to be not necessarily in the race for a golden boot, but in that top 10, 15 of goals scored on the season. And part of that to me is PKs, and you have to give him that opportunity there. And so that's the only thing that I would do differently.
Looking at so last week, New Mexico United obviously announced the return of Cody Mizell. We kind of figured out that it was coming ahead of time, and we made a post. Well, I put a post out there showing, about Cody coming back. And he obviously, we had talked about on the show last, does he get the start? Now I've since found out that Cody is but more than likely ineligible to start in the Cup match for us on Wednesday night. Now, we talked about, does he get to start on the weekend against Phoenix over Ford Parker? And we all felt like he should. That gives the best possible chance of winning. And so we'll have two little things here. So first of all, if Cody's loan deal specifically states that is for more than 90 days, then he is Cup eligible. If it's a exact short-term loan, whatever that means, then he is not eligible. Now, there were two different releases that came out. The club put out a statement that said short-term. NYCFC's announcement said a season-long loan. So I tried to get clarification, but I was told that it is a short-term loan on that. So it sounds like Cody's not eligible. So Earl, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts, number one, on Cody getting the start Saturday night? And let's talk a little bit about your back and forth with Casey.
All right,
do you feel like it was disrespectful to Ford to start Cody?
No, not at all.
Okay.
We all know Cody's great. I mean, he's with United for first 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Leads the team in all-time. Sorry. Okay, leads the team in all-time minutes played in goal, whatever the heck he leads in with the club. So yeah, Cody is good. I mean, I'll give it to him. Ford Parker just needs more time. That's what it is. I mean, obviously having a veteran like Cody to be able to mentor him now, that's good. So I love Casey to death. And Casey, if you're here or if you listen to this, I want you to know I'm still waiting for my gloves in the mail. You have my number. Text me. I'll get those gloves from you. But to have Ford Parker, who played USL last season, play against one of the best teams in the league is not a smart decision. One, if Ford Parker were to give up 2 or 3 goals, that's going to crush his confidence anyways. I mean, he held a clean sheet his first start, whatever, against Las Vegas Legends. Las Vegas Legends compared to Phoenix Rising is literally the USFL to Tom Brady. It's leaps and mountains beyond comparisons. I mean, there's no comparison to Las Vegas Legends and Phoenix Rising. So yeah, Ford Parker had a good showing with Las Vegas Legends. It's not guaranteed that he has the same good showing with Phoenix Rising. I mean, it could have been, Ford Parker could have maybe had a clean sheet, 0-0, took us to a draw. But then he could have also gave up 4 or 5 against Phoenix Rising because Phoenix Rising knows how to score, especially when Joey Calistri comes in. So having Cody start against Phoenix, I'm okay with that. Now, if Ford Parker has to start against Phoenix in the Open Cup, I'm also okay with that because he'll have 3 days, 4 days now, 5 days since Cody got here to get some kind of mentorship and coaching to what Phoenix does.
So who was arguing what on Facebook?
So Casey
was arguing that he thought it was disrespectful that Ford Parker did not get the nod to start against Phoenix, and instead they brought in someone because the club doesn't trust Ford Parker.
Or one of the academy keepers, which is the next point I want to bring up. So we do have 3 keepers currently listed on the academy roster, none of which are even out of high school yet. So do you think would you have preferred the club sign one of these,
No.
17, 18-year-old kids? I think one of them's even 15 to sign them or bring them up on an emergency deal or whatever they could possibly do for Phoenix Rising 2 straight matches, or even a longer term, depending on how long Alex is out? Or would you rather bring in a veteran keeper?
I would have rather brought in exactly what they did and bring in a veteran keeper. I mean, my main thing is confidence. So even if you don't go Ford Parker and you decide to go the route of an academy kid, say it's the 15-year-old that we have on the roster, and he gets scored on 8 goals, 4 goals, 5, whatever number you want to come up with, that's going to kill his confidence, because now he has to go back to his academy team and hear it that, hey, look, he then essentially, and I hate to say this, becomes penis head Logan Ketterer with Minnesota, who never hears the end of it.
It's actually a fair analogy. It comes down to Alex's health to me. I think if the club thought Alex was going to be out a week or two, maybe you bring in the academy kid to back up Ford. You give Ford the starts and see how it goes. I also think that because of the fact that we are entering a stretch now with, these 3 games this week, and then not a heavy schedule after that, but an average schedule after that. We don't have 2 weeks off like we did before this match. And so with a heavier workload, the fact that I take this to mean Alex is going to be out for a while, a month or more, is how I look at it. I don't think with the aspirations that we have, as far as the season goes and kind of where we want to be at the end of the year, I don't think you can necessarily afford to have a younger, inexperienced keeper like Ford, who I know he has been in the USL for a couple years now, but he hasn't logged a whole lot of minutes or a whole lot of matches. I don't think a championship caliber club is going to be okay with that. And so you have to bring in somebody that is at a higher standard. And if Cody is sitting there on the NYCFC depth chart as their 3rd goalie, they're not in a whole lot of extra competitions. They don't come into Open Cup until next round. They're out of CONCACAF Champions League. So they just have their MLS schedule. I don't see them needing a 3rd goalkeeper anytime soon, barring injuries. So yeah, you make the phone call. You go get somebody that has come in. He has performed for you. He was part of a deep Open Cup run in 2019. Was part of a very good defense in year 2. And he's a fan favorite. It's kind of a no-brainer move as long as they can get the figures worked out and make it happen. So maybe Ford should have started Phoenix on Saturday, but if Cody isn't eligible for the Open Cup on Wednesday, that means you have Ford facing El Paso 2 times in 4 days. And I just don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the chances that it gives to Phoenix to exploit some things to a keeper that doesn't have as much experience. So Cody needs to start one of those matches. If he can't start the Open Cup match because of rules, then he's got to start the first one. And that's what happened. That's where we are. I thought Cody played well. I think our defense actually is held up pretty good against a very strong attacking Phoenix side, with injuries to Tete and Ryden. Suggs maybe not 90 minutes fit and coming off the bench. And a keeper that got there 3 days ago, 2 days ago, however many days before the match it was. All in all, I think that part of the match, I think we all live with. I think we all like. I think it ended up being pretty good, especially in that second half. Phoenix kind of sat back, which doesn't make sense a whole lot to me. They don't typically do that, even with a lead. But I think part of it was because we were really good. We completed over 80% of our passes. The defense didn't give up a lot of chances. And so I don't see how you can look at that match and go, "Oh, Ford should have started that match." It doesn't make sense to me.
And really
There
looking
go
ahead.
There was really only one mistake that happened, and it wasn't even a mistake. It was literally a breakout pass where two people got free. And even then, we still had people back. They just had clean, on-point passes. Like, it wasn't anything that we could have did different. It wasn't anything that Cody could have did different. It was just a clean play.
I agree fully. But I will sit here and swear that if this was last year and that was Alex, you are bitching about Cody's play.
Nope. No.
Maybe post Gasson ass chewing, you agree with your take, but before Gasson chewed your ass, you would be screaming at your TV. We would have got a text saying, told you, he sucks, told you, what is he doing coming out that far?
He did. That's not the point. So anyways, this past Saturday, we could have literally had fucking Yuma back there. And I wouldn't have complained about it. I wouldn't have complained on that play if Yuma would have got beat in keeper because it was that clean of a play.
I don't have the drop, but the first thing that came to my mind was Hank Hill saying that boy ain't right when you said that. So
my one issue with that break that Phoenix had is that the only person we had back was Justin Portillo. Our back line didn't respond fast enough, and Justin Portillo was the guy that tracked back.
Well, we were caught out of position because.
Well, no, I completely understand that.
On our set pieces, our biggest guys are back line, and they are up there trying to score on the header, and sometimes when you get overzealous on those, that's what happens. And so I'm not going to complain about it. Yearwood is fast and is really good. He's not Superman. So I don't expect him to make up that ground.
I know, and I completely understand, how we do the set piece and that. It's just, I would hope that our reaction time is a little bit better. I don't want to see Justin Portillo the last man back.
But that it was a long pass. The ball is faster than any man on those passes.
So
and then another quick pass. And I don't care who our back line is. If they're at our 6-yard mark trying to score, they're not going to be fast enough to get back, even if their reaction time is lightning quick.
So when the ball is cleared from Lunt's goal to midfield, looking at it right here, we have two people on whoever the fuck that is, and then two of them chasing with one other Phoenix person coming up. So I'm assuming that's going to be Marcus Epps. So when Marcus Epps passes it to Hurst, there's 4 United players in back.
Mm-hmm.
So we had people responding back. It's not that we didn't respond back. It was a clean play. That's all it was. Like we had, when Hurst kicks it, we have Portillo already with Hurst. Cody's already making his dive. Portillo is right next to Hurst as he kicks it.
Yeah.
So it's not like we didn't have people responding. It was a good play for Phoenix. And that's all it was.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's all it takes is, one mistake and, you give up a goal. So, tough.
In rewatching it, not them scoring part, but they score off of this because Lunt makes a ridiculous save
Yeah.
on a Sergio Rivas header. And if you watch Sergio, he heads it and then turns and celebrates. And it's very much reminiscent of the Nick Young meme. I don't know if you know the Nick Young meme, but it's basically he shoots a 3, he turns around, throws his hands up because he thinks it's going in, and then it doesn't go in, and that's the vibe that I got right there, and I just thought it was funny, so I had to show it.
But yeah, tough match on Saturday night, and of course we go again tomorrow night. Obviously, you know, we're fairly certain Ford Parker is going to be in the goal for United. I mean, this is a big night for Ford and for the club. What is it going to take for the guys to rebound off of Saturday night and to advance in the Open Cup against Phoenix again?
Score goals.
Well, yes.
If they play the same game that they played Saturday, we win. The chances of their keeper having that kind of night 2 matches in a row against the same team are just astronomically low. And if we can come out and be the better team and create the chances that we created, we're gonna score at least a couple goals, and that I think 2 is enough to get us to extra time and penalties if our defense is playing the way it has been, which I don't see a reason why it shouldn't. So just come out with that same mentality. Have Alex make it, or not Alex, sorry, Cody. Cody makes it, or sorry, Cody, or sorry, Ford. Ford's going to have to make a couple stops. He just is. That's playing Phoenix. That's just what's going to happen. Phoenix is an incredibly deep team. And so even if they rotate their squad, we're still going to face some very talented players. But I think if we just come out and play close to what we played Saturday, we're going to come out on top there.
Can we just not play Arturo Rodriguez?
I hate that guy. I hate him so much.
I'm not even sure he's a guy. I'm pretty sure he should be playing on like a females team.
No, because I want to punch him.
Him and his damn headband. He must have stole it from you because you're not wearing yours today.
Yeah, he did. A little bastard.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, especially because you just had Tabor and Nico both play the full 90. We got, you know, again, cup match 4 days apart. You know, do we maybe see Nava or Ilya get a start, or do you think we see Nico and Preston go 70 plus again?
I think we see Jerome. I think we see Jerome in there, along with Nico to start maybe, and then Preston coming on for Nico, something like that, and Jerome goes the full 90. Illich looked bad when he came on. Just not take that back. He didn't look bad. He was just slow. He was very slow, and he wasn't defensive whatsoever. So there were a couple times on defense when, if he was just a step quicker, maybe he gets a foot on a pass and we can create something out of it. So I don't see him starting. I could see him coming in, especially if he goes to extra time. But I definitely don't see him starting. And look, Nico's been a pretty healthy player his whole career, and he's played a lot of minutes. I think he will be just fine if he starts next to Jerome, or comes on for Itaka. I think we're going to be all right. You could even see Rivas up there. I don't know, depending on what happened with him at halftime, if there was a knock there or not. And so I see a lot of different options. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Nico and Itaka, but I think Jerome gets the nod, much like the Las Vegas Legends match.
So I had sent a couple questions over to David Carl after the match Saturday night. One of them was about Sergio and that change that Zach made at halftime. Jacob, did you get or did either of you get the video David recorded after the match?
I get nothing. I'm just here.
Okay. We really got to get you added to that, Earl. But I mean, you know, none of the so I sent 3 questions over.
No, I did not.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll send it to both of you guys. But I mean, Zach didn't get asked that question specifically, but he did talk about the performance there, and so they know that the Cup is still important, and they're looking forward to this. And so Earl, are there any other lineup changes that you would make that you think would improve the chances against Phoenix tomorrow night?
Well, if Ryden's healthy, then yeah, he should be a go.
Well, more than likely, we don't have an official update, but Ryden apparently posted something on his Instagram that he was in a walking boot. So I don't know what that means. Could be a stress fracture, could be an ankle issue. We don't know. So I would say that Kalen is not going to be back. We haven't gotten any match notes for this one. We didn't get any ahead of the Phoenix match on Saturday either. So my guess would be no Kalen again.
Some other lineup changes I would like to see is like Ratty playing against Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Ratty's a mean player. I mean, his first 4 minutes with United on the pitch, he got a yellow card.
That is true.
I would not mind seeing Ratty punch Arturo Rodriguez in the mouth, or even Aiden Quinn. If he were to punch Aiden Quinn in the freaking nose, I'd be okay with that too. But hard enough to where they have to come off the pitch and get evaluated for a while. I'm not saying injure them, but I'm saying if they're like to be off the
I
pitch
think you're saying injure them. I think you're saying injure them.
That's not what I'm saying. So to the USL people that watch this thing, I'm not saying for Radio Vuka to injure any Phoenix player. I'm just saying to punch them in the mouth. Just those two, though. Anyone else there, I'm okay with just those two.
Maybe they'll catch an elbow during a set piece or something,
Something, or a head, get a headbutt during a header or something. I don't know. Either way, I would love to see Ratty be vicious with Phoenix and kind of rough them up a little bit. I would love to see Suggs start, hopefully, if he's healthy for a full 90.
So if you put Ratty and Suggs on, that means you're taking Harry and Bruce off.
That's fine.
Harry and Bruce have arguably been our 2 best players this season. Okay.
Earl's not going to disagree with you, but he's still going to take him off the pitch.
I want
the only reason why is because they can come on. Harry and Bruce can come on as a super sub. I mean, their starter caliber, as we've seen the past 6 matches with the Open Cup. Their starter caliber. So if we are down or tied 0-0 at the half or at the 50, 60th minute or down 1, we could bring on Harry or Bruce and take advantage of the wear and tear that's already been placed on Phoenix.
Yeah.
Even if one of them comes on for Ratty, I'm okay with that. I just want to see Ratty rough them up a little bit. Then, yeah, these two can come in and work their magic.
Yeah, I think Ratty's a good shout for tomorrow night. I would not be surprised to see him get a start. But then it's, who do you take off? Like, I feel like Austin has played well all season. Harry's played well. Brucey's played well. It's hard to take one of those guys off. Now, Ratty obviously can play a little bit higher up than Austin. Harry plays a similar role to what Ratty can do. So, but yeah, I think Ratty's a shout. Give Jerome some time. Maybe bring maybe save Tate. Maybe save Preston until a little bit later. There's a number of different things that you could change. I
would love to see something different and go 3 on top, especially when Phoenix is running with like half a person in the back.
Well, we did kind of do that on Saturday night when Illich came on. You had 3 forwards up there, 3 legitimate forwards, but obviously Illich didn't have a good showing, and so it didn't really pan out the way that you thought it might. But that was an interesting change. That's not something we would have seen in years past from Troy. But to see Zach come out and throw out 3 forwards towards the end of the match to try to improve the attack there at the end, I thought was an interesting change. So yeah, I mean, all right. So Earl, you said 1-0. Jacob, you said penalties.
I'll go 2-2.
2-2?
2-2, and then penalties.
Okay. Earl, is yours a regular time or extra time?
It's gonna go extra.
Extra. Okay. Yeah, this is tough. And last week ahead of the match, Earl, you and I both predicted United to lose. We were both right, unfortunately. It wasn't quite the scoreline. It was significantly lower in total number of goals scored than what we typically see between the two sides. I like what I saw on Saturday night. I feel like defensively we can hang with Phoenix, particularly with the way that they've been lining up. My one issue for tomorrow night now is Ford Parker and his performance in goal. I feel like, and I want to be wrong, I really do. I think Phoenix wins this one in extra time 2-1. That's
So, Earl.
nice.
I just don't understand why you keep doing this, Seth. Is it to be professional?
Not necessarily. No, it's just looking at, I've said it before, I try to look at how the teams are playing, who I expect to be on the pitch, and how I project them going to perform.
So here's why I called it 1-0 for United. Because it's hard to beat a team, especially of United caliber. It's definitely hard to beat them 4 days after you beat them the first time again. So I don't see them beating us again. I do see us neck and neck with them 0-0 to about the 118th minute, 119th minute. It's going to be 0-0 for a long freaking time. And then Lunt makes some stupid mistake because he's made about 400 saves already as it is. He makes one stupid mistake out of confidence and gets scored on.
Yeah, I mean, that very well could be the case. And like I said, I want to be wrong.
This isn't a prediction, by the way. This is a spoiler.
Yeah. There you go. But no, I don't like picking against United. I don't.
The best Paul Heyman line I can give.
But I just, it's just one of those things. I want to see Ford prove me wrong. I want to see us play well again.
Just for the record, I think you've picked against them 3 times this year. So
no,
just twice.
Yeah. And I was right the first time.
Yeah, you jinxed us, you son of a bitch. Now it could go either way. It's going to. With Ford, I think he's a good enough goalkeeper that he will keep us in it. He's part of the reason why I think it's gonna be 2-2 and not 1-0 or 1-1 or 0-0. I think goals will be scored. And because of that, our offense is gonna have to step up. But if our attack can be like it has been, then we're bound to find some goals. Maybe we don't see line in goal this week. Maybe their back line, which already was full of holes on Saturday, has a couple rotated players in it and is even more susceptible to an attack. And because of that, goals aplenty. And if we go to penalties, who the hell knows what happens? And the way the two teams play each other, I mean, aside from the 5-2, was it 5-2 a couple years ago? Aside from that match, it's been a 1-goal game every time. Let's just watch Seth watch soccer. That's a new show for everybody here on YouTube. Seth watches soccer, episode 83.
That's the thing we should be watching. Yeah,
exactly. No, I hope we can pull it out, but with the way these two teams go,
Beavis, he said pull it out.
Oh, good Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man. United 8:30 Mountain Time tomorrow night, New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising. Third round of the Open Cup. Open Cup actually starts at 4:00 Mountain Time tomorrow. So if you have the time, hop on over to ESPN Plus and watch matches throughout the evening. There's gonna be a lot of good matchups tomorrow. Speaking of, we have a score update. Cal United has leveled with FC Tucson in the 72nd minute. It's now 1-1 out there. And LA Galaxy still leads San Diego Loyal by a score of 1-0 in the 78th minute. So, and Earl, just for you,
San Jose.
I don't know. I've stopped paying attention. Last I saw it was 2-0 on that one. So at that point, I don't think Bay Cities is coming back. Earl, just for you, Freddie Freeman is 0 for 2 tonight against the Atlanta Braves, and Max Fried has a 1-hit shutout through 6 innings. Yeah,
Seth.
Seth's so proud of that.
Seth.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Oh, Earl's dramatic pauses. I love them.
World Series. That's all I gotta say.
Hold on. Let's get this up here. Oh, yep, there it is. To be fair, Earl, I hate you for this as well, because Freddie Freeman in a Dodger uniform kind of makes me sick.
Yeah, that's not even from tonight, so I'm not too worried about it. So
no, it was his first at bat against the Braves for the Dodgers, which I did find kind of funny.
Yep, that's nice. Thanks, Earl.
San Jose,
you're gonna get us banned from YouTube.
San Jose is up 3-0.
That's why there's no volume. That's why there's no volume.
And just for the record here, let me look at something here. Where are the Braves here? 5-7. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Cubs are 6-5, a little bit better. But the Colorado Rockies are 8-3, ladies and gentlemen. And I know it's early, but I'm going to take it when I can get it. And I live in the present, and the present says we're better than both of you, so suck it.
Oh, should I bring up the trade of Nolan Arenado?
Speaking of Nolan, he is in the top 5 in home runs, RBIs, batting average, OPS, OBS, or OBP, and slugging. And
you're still eating a bag of Doritos.
2 things, though. One, I really do like when Coors Field players leave Coors Field and still succeed, because it just kind of validates my thoughts on them for the last several years. I've seen it with Nolan and DJ LeMahieu most recently. So I do appreciate that. And it would suck a lot more if we were, 5-8, 5-7 like Atlanta is, but we're not. We're 8-3, so shut up.
You do realize the Braves did not get off to a great start.
I don't care. I don't care.
So, in the words of Seth, because I
I'm
know
not living in the
like his
future. I'm
famous
not
quote,
living in the past. I'm living in the
his
present.
famous quote is,
and we're 8-3.
World Series.
8-3.
Moving right along, we do have one more match.
A week from now, when we're 8-8, I don't want to hear it, but right now we're 8-3.
We do have one more match to talk about just a little bit tonight. Saturday night, New Mexico United will welcome in San Antonio FC for the first time this season. Friend of the show, Harry Austin, will be in town. Harry is not in the chat as far as I can tell. He will be in town this weekend, so we'll get to hang out with Harry a little bit. San Antonio has been playing pretty well the past couple weeks. Looking over at the Western Conference standings, San Antonio currently sits in 3rd on 15 points. They have 5 wins and 1 loss to their name so far this year. They won their last 2. This is going to be an interesting matchup. San Antonio has been playing some very tough, 1-goal games. Most recently, they beat El Paso, and before that, Orange County. So
who hasn't beat El Paso?
Yeah, at this point, there's only been one team that has not beaten El Paso. So,
and they're barely a team.
Yeah, exactly. They beat Monterey Bay. So yeah, El Paso, of course, is still sitting bottom of the Western Conference, except for goal differential. But San Antonio, I mean, what do you guys think? What's your take on San Antonio so far this year?
I don't know. I watch them and I just don't see it. Yet they get the results. It's like the exact opposite of New Mexico United. I watch New Mexico United. I'm like, damn, that's a good team, and they just can't get results, and that sucks. And then I watch San Antonio, and I'm like, I just don't see it with this team, and yet they get the result, and I don't know what to think about them. Obviously, at some point, we are who they thought they were, or we are who their record says they are, and the record says they're a good club.
That's what they say they are.
Yeah, their record says they're a good club, and I've got to take it as they're a good club, and they got to be grinding out these wins because of that. That being said, I don't think they come in here and win. I don't even think they come in here and draw. Their performances in the lab have been atrocious, to put it lightly. And because of that, I think we can take it to them yet again. Maybe it's not 3-0 or something like that, but I do think we squeak that out.
Yeah, they have 7 goals scored through 6 matches. Defensively, they played a little bit better than that. Let me double check the stats. I just had it up. Defensively, let's see, they have allowed 4 goals through 6 matches. So defensively, they're very good. All 4 of those goals. Let's see, let me double check here. Those goals came against 2 against Phoenix, and the other 2 came against LA Galaxy and RGV. So
they're what'd you say, 5-1, right? 5-0-1. They have beat Detroit, which I thought Detroit
looked very good.
Which I thought Detroit looked like a better club that night, and Detroit's kind of middle of the pack as far as USL goes. They looked good tonight. They have had several good performances lately. I think it was their first game in the USL, and they might have had a little bit of cold feet. They beat Los Dos. Nobody's freaking out about them right now. They beat RGV again. Not the most impressive team. They lost handily to Phoenix. They beat Orange County. They beat El Paso. I'm not I look at their opponents and who they've beaten. They won 3-1 in the Open Cup against D Feeders. Great name, by the way. And I look at that, I'm just like, okay, yeah, they're solid, not spectacular, and they just don't jump off the page at me. And I am excited to see how they perform Wednesday, though. Tomorrow, they play Austin FC in the Open Cup at home, and that could go a long way to seeing what kind of mood they're in coming to New Mexico, and I just can't wait to actually have soccer again. It feels like it's been, how long has it been? A month since we've been at the lab? I mean,
a couple weeks, yeah.
80-some years.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. They are. I feel similarly to what you do. They're a solid team. Only 2 of the clubs they've played so far are above the playoff line as of this point. Yes, it's still early, but and
they lost one of those.
Yeah, they lost one. So yeah, Los Dos is below the playoff line. RGV is below the playoff line. Orange County and El Paso, they're all below the playoff line at this point. But yeah, I mean, they've been ugly, ground out wins, but they're finding ways to do it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what to think of them yet. I kind of wish Harry was in the chat so we could, pop him onto the show and talk to him about it. But
so I feel like San Antonio is a butter knife.
You're gonna have to explain.
You have my attention.
They're not too sharp when it actually comes down to it, but they're very convenient and useful when you actually need it.
It's a stretch, but I'll buy it.
Huh?
My wife says the same thing about me. I guess she's listening at the door. What the?
I thought I heard somebody.
fuck is she? Let's see.
Wait, carry around your laptop. I want to see what's going on. Riveting, guys.
Very, very riveting. Yeah, I will have to make some edits to that tonight. So, I don't know. That's an interesting analogy. The more you think about it, you know.
Earl got him thinking. Earl got.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how they match
continue.
Up. Okay.
Please continue about that. Your take on that analogy.
I think it's interesting, like, because I don't know what to make of them. They get the job done, but it's not easy, you know?
Exactly. So that's my exact point. Because when you get a freaking butter knife because you don't have a flathead screwdriver and you're trying to tighten the screw, it's not easy, but it gets the job done. Seth wouldn't know because he lives across the street from freaking Family Dollar. But like if you live in the hillbillies like me and Jacob, well, probably not Jacob because there's also Family Dollar out there. But if you live in hillbillies like me, you find what you have to get that screw tightened.
I know all about using a butter knife to tighten a flathead screw. Like I know all about.
And is it easy?
What the hell's wrong with you guys? You don't own a flathead screwdriver? Come on.
Well, no, I have a flathead screwdriver. I do.
Well, I have a flathead, but sometimes you can't find it.
I know exactly where my tools are. Thank you very much. But no,
why
like,
are you tightening a screw with a butter knife?
Because I couldn't find my flathead. Why else would I tighten a flathead with a butter knife?
But no, like, so I get it. Like, I get it. Like, it gets the job done, but it's not, the easiest thing in the world. And so that's what makes it hard to quantify what San Antonio is doing so far this year. Like I want to see them play well, play a complete 90 against a club that is a contender, at least to this point so far.
Are we?
I think we are. I feel like we've shown well enough through 5 matches that we kind of know what we can expect, week in and week out in terms of ability on the pitch and, where we can improve on and what positives we have going for us that we can kind of lean on in every matchup.
So what happened Saturday night?
What happened Saturday night? Ben Lunt happened Saturday night.
No,
Chris,
what happened?
Oh, what happens? Okay. I thought you said what happened.
No.
Saturday night, I honestly don't see San Antonio scoring. I think it ends up 2-0 in our favor. I think it's going to be physical. I don't necessarily think it's going to be like a dirty match or anything. But I feel like we do get a clean sheet against San Antonio Saturday.
Earl?
2-0.
That sucks. Because before I asked both of you, my thought was 2-0. But I don't want to go 2-0 now since 2 of you went 2-0. We're bound to have a 3-goal game. We're bound to have a 3-goal game at some point. With the injuries at the back line and the uncertainty there, I don't see us keeping a clean sheet, even against a team that hasn't necessarily been a juggernaut on offense. So I will keep that 2-goal victory, but I will go 3-1.
Okay. All right, 2-0, 2-0, and 3-1. So interesting series of predictions there. Yeah, just we're gonna have to wait and see what happens both tomorrow night and on Saturday against San Antonio, and then we get, I believe it's a week off until our next match. So a lot of soccer to look forward to this week, guys. Hopefully we see some of you folks out at Isops Park on Saturday. And of course, we'll have Harry Austin here in town. We'll try to record something with him before he leaves town So yeah, and before Jacob closes out, I do want to let you guys know that I potentially have a guest for us next week. I don't have 100% confirmation, but I am working on having a guest for us.
So is this one of those things where you're not telling the audience that's listening, or are you not going to tell us afterwards either?
As soon as I get confirmation, I will tell you guys, but I'm not going to tell the audience.
You just tell us. You can't tell us. Oh, I am talking to this person after we get off the air.
Oh yeah, I can tell you after we get off the air.
Okay, then we can be friends still.
Okay.
We actually have over a week off.
Yeah.
We play the 23rd, and then we don't play again until the 4th.
The 4th, yeah. I forgot about that.
Against Sacramento on a Wednesday.
May
I don't know.
With you.
When's the next Open Cup round?
Next round of Open Cup is, let me double check here. So the 4th round draw is later this week. I believe it's Friday. Let me see here. For round of 32. Round of 32 draw will be. Oh, it's not listed. So the round. The heck? It doesn't have the dates here. Hold on. My first resource doesn't show, which is weird.
Riveting.
Very. Yes, I know. Okay, so the 4th round draw will be the 22nd, so Friday, and then the match days for the round of 32 or 4th round, however you want to refer to it, May 10th through 11th. The 24 winners from the 3rd round will advance, and then the final 8 MLS squads will join.
Gotcha. Okay, so that does mean we will have over a week and a half off. I thought maybe there might be a USL or an Open Cup match in between there, but I guess not. So we will have a little bit over a week off, and then we will play Sacramento. So any closing thoughts, smart ass remarks, or general nonsense, Earl? No. Fantastic. Okay.
Not really any nonsense, but the next time that we do come on air next week on Tuesday, I will be 1 year older, but not any wiser.
Did you just passive aggressively say it's my birthday week?
He did.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just making sure that's what that was.
But I'm just letting you guys know that even though I'll be 1 year older and 1 year closer to my grave, I won't be any wiser.
Well, yeah, because you're turning what, 19, little baby?
12. It's
little
12.
Baby. Oh, sorry. I've never seen a 12-year-old with that kind of beard. That's impressive.
You seem jealous.
I do.
I came out of my mama with this beard.
I don't. I imagine that was very unpleasant for her.
I don't know. I was adopted, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, all right. So last minute.
Dark turn, Earl. Thanks.
Yeah. Last minute score update. 91st minute. FC Tucson and Cal United Strikers still tied 1-1. You have 3 minutes of added time there. San Jose beat Bay Cities by a final of 5-0. Jacob LA Galaxy defeated San Diego Loyal by a final of 1-0. And let's see. The Braves have a 3-0 lead going into the 8th inning with Max Reed pitching a 2-hit shutout. Earl.
And Theory is the new United States champion.
Is this wrestling?
Yes.
I'm out.
That's a great time to get us out of here, Jacob.
Yeah. For the Sombrero Man who was in the chat for a minute.
His middle name is Joseph.
Apparently. There's a clear connection between when we actually post something the day of and the number of people in the chat. And I blame myself. I apologize. Today was a very shitty day. Not shitty. It was just busy. But anyways, Sombrero Man, thank you.
Wait. Jacob.
Hold on. Seth froze. Look. Seth froze.
Cal United Strikers are going, unless something drastic happens, they're going to upset FC Tucson. They just scored in the 92nd minute.
Anyways,
Who?
Jacob, what day is it?
Cal United Strikers.
Who cares?
Jacob, what day is it?
What day is
what day is it?
Today?
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
No.
The 19th.
Taco Tuesday.
How is it that we record on Tuesday every week? And that's the first time I ever have heard Earl say anything about Taco Tuesday. I'm so confused right now. Anyways, Sombrero Man, thank you. To everybody that watched, thank you. To everybody that's going to listen to this on podcast form as it drops on Thursday, typically.
I'll have
Yes.
it. It'll be up here in about an hour and a half.
In about an hour and a half. For those of you that listen on the podcast, thank you guys.
And to those who don't, you're lost.
Well, they can't hear you because they don't listen, Earl. Join us in the chat next Tuesday, 9:00 again. We will recap 2 matches and probably not preview any. So that'll be nice to just be able to look at an Open Cup match and a regular season bout against San Antonio FC that takes place on Saturday. So I believe the times are 8:30 tomorrow night in Phoenix for the Open. For the Open Cup,
You had a stroke.
and 7 Saturday in the lab. Me and Seth and possibly Earl. She's listening, huh? Never mind. Earl is not coming. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I don't think she's listening. I think she walked to the room with some food.
Well, let's hope she's not. All of us might be there.
I'm working on the permission slip. Just
Okay,
put it
okay.
at that.
All of us might be there. 2 of us are for sure going to be there. Come and say hello if you see us. I'll be walking around the concourse taking pictures before the match. Hopefully we are talking about a couple of wins next Tuesday, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on how the matches went and how they can be better or worse, or however you want to talk, whatever you want to talk about, maybe even wrestling. I guarantee you, if you ask Earl a wrestling question in the chat, you will be his new best friend because he has none. I love you, Earl. I love you. Don't cry.
This is very true.
And tomorrow, some good thoughts my way, please. It could be a very big day. It could be a very bad day. 3 things going on. We obviously got the Open Cup match that will dictate how my day ends. Hopefully we have draw results for hunts. So I put in for 4 different
They
species.
should already be out.
No, they're not out. I checked religiously.
They're
supposed to come out tomorrow, or maybe they're
tag.
no.
That's right.
Fuck. Anyways,
So that's me how I know this shit.
4 different hunts. Hopefully, I get at least something, and I have a job interview. So 3 very important things tomorrow. And after the Minnesota Timberwolves got their ass kicked tonight, I could use just a little bit of positivity there. So wish me luck there. And as always, we love you guys. Come back and see us next week. And somos
Next Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.